First off, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS that teach us His word. And shalom unto the hopeful elect upon the four corners of this earth that's trying to make it up out of here. So, in this lesson, I wanted to talk about sacrifice and how important it is to being in this faith and in this truth. Because sacrifice is what this truth is all about. And I don't mean burnt offerings as in sacrifices, because there's a difference between a burnt offering sacrifice and sacrificing yourself to be under the Most High. The Most High would rather see us sacrifice ourselves unto Him more than a burnt offering, because we don't have to do burnt offerings anymore because of Yahawah's sacrifice. But in this truth, to be under the Most High, we gotta sacrifice ourselves. We gotta sacrifice our bodies and sacrifice our time, our time that we could be doing other things, other worldly, unimportant things. We gotta sacrifice that to be under the Most High. Romans chapter 12 verse 1 says, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service. So you're a living sacrifice. You're constantly living as a sacrifice, being a follower of the Most High, being an example to other people. Following this truth and being in this truth and in this faith and in this walk with the Most High is constantly a sacrifice, because you're putting yourself out there. You're putting your body and your time. You're going out onto the highways week in and week out, putting your effort out there. That's you being a sacrifice for the Most High, and that's pleasing unto Him. That should be pleasing unto you. That's what being in this truth is all about. It's about sacrificing yourself. And not only should you be sacrificing yourself, you should ultimately be sacrificing yourself to the Most High. But there's more than just that, because you have to sacrifice things unto the people around you, as well as for example, your brethren. But for example, if you have something that a brother needs, or if a brother needs something and you have it, you gotta sacrifice. You should sacrifice that unto him. You should want to, because you're able to help him out in that aspect. You're able to help brethren out, and you have that to spare. If a brother need money, then you should be able to sacrifice that money, because helping a brother out should be more important than whatever you have that you're aiming for, or something carnal that you're aiming for, something that you ultimately don't need, or something that you can get back. You should want to help brethren out over that. That's a sacrifice that you should want to make. That's another aspect of sacrifices being important in this truth. You got to sacrifice this truth over whatever you have on your plate that's unimportant, that's pertaining to the world. I'll get 1 Samuel. I'll get 1 Samuel chapter 15 verse 22. It says, and Samuel said, hath the Lord Yahawah as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of the Lord? Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams. So it says it right there. To obey and listen to the Most High, follow His commandments and follow His truth. That's better to the Most High than a burnt offering. That's why what we're doing is acceptable to the Most High. We don't have to do burnt offerings anymore, because this is more acceptable to the Most High than that. That's why we fast and put our bodies through affliction. We're sacrificing that worldly and carnal desire and want, because the Most High wants us. We're doing things unto the Most High and unto this truth, and This truth is more important than us. So we should want to sacrifice these things that we want and feel like we need that aren't important. We should be able to sacrifice that. If you can't sacrifice that, there's no point to be in this truth, because this truth is more important, period. And there's no arguing that. Whatever worldly things you have in front of you on your plate is less important than the truth. Proverbs 21:3, I'll get that real quick. It says, to do justice and judgment is more acceptable to the Lord Yahawah than sacrifice. And what sacrifice that's talking about, at the end, the sacrifice I was talking about is the burnt offerings and things of the sort. But to do justice and judgment, to do justice and to judge is a sacrifice in itself, because you're putting that upon yourself to bring out justice. It's justice when we go out on the highways to teach. We're serving justice because we're giving people the things that they need to hear, rather than the things that are being taught at churches, or rather than giving people things that are pleasing to the ears. We're telling people what they should be hearing. That's justice. That's an act of justice. We're doing good and a good act, but it's also a sacrificial act, because the time that we're taking, us sacrificing our bodies, going out in the cold, going out while it's really very hot outside, very cold outside, raining, windy, like in all these conditions, we're sacrificing ourselves to put our body out there to teach this word. That's a pleasing thing unto the Most High. Here I get Luke chapter 9 verse 24. Because you gotta understand that the people in the past who were doing things unto the Most High, they had to sacrifice. The best example, the most prominent example that I can think of being Job. He had to sacrifice a lot. He had to sacrifice everything that he had. And Job stayed strong. So we need to be able to sacrifice as much as Job's sacrificed. If you have things in the world that you feel are important to you that you can't let go of, you got to be able to sacrifice that. Because this truth is more important. And there's no arguing that. There's no refuting that. This truth is more important. There's more important things in this world. You can't get that mixed up. You can't argue that this truth is more important. You should want to sacrifice everything that's in your life for it, because it's more important. Sacrifice has always been a very important thing. When Noah was building that ark, he was sacrificing himself, putting himself to the test, building every single day. Every single day. Being a soldier of the Most High is a sacrifice, and you should want to carry out that sacrifice, because that's pleasing unto the Most High. The Most High sees that, and you're giving yourself. The Most High is gonna do good things for you if you're out there putting yourself, sacrificing, being that living sacrifice for the Most High, being a sacrificial lamb. The sacrificial lambs have been put away with, and now we're that sacrifice. We are that sacrificial lamb. Luke 9:24 says, "For whoever will save his life shall lose it. But whoever will lose his life for my sake, the same shall save it." So if the Most High, if you're trying to save the life that you have in this world, if you're trying to save the life that you have in a carnal sense, then you're going to lose that. You're going to lose it either way. You're either going to lose it with the Most High taking it away from you himself, stripping your life completely from you, or you're gonna lose it by. Nah, I ain't. All right, Salakia, you're either gonna lose it in a by the Most High judging you from it, and He taking it away from you completely, or you're gonna lose it in a spiritual sense, which is putting that life away and dedicating your life to being in His truth. And that's here when at the second half of this verse saying, but whosoever will lose his life for my sake, the same shall save it. You're saving yourself by losing that carnal worldly life. The Most High is gonna prolong your life since you're living in the Spirit, and the Most High is gonna keep you around. Here, I'll get Salaki, I can't. This verse is escaping me, but it was talking about sacrificing things for your brethren, and I wanted to get into that too because that's another important thing. Not only should you be sacrificing things unto the Most High, but you should want to sacrifice unto your brethren as well, because they would do the same unto you if you're looking out for each other like you're supposed to. You're supposed to sacrifice unto your brethren. You're supposed to want to help them out as well. That's a very beautiful thing to want to sacrifice unto your brethren. Don't be selfish, because if you don't want to sacrifice and you don't want to be that set, if you don't want to sacrifice things unto your brethren or be a sacrificial lamb unto the Most High, then that's a very selfish act and the Most High hates selfishness. That's a very selfish act, and that could get you messed up by the Most High. So you should want to take that selfishness away and not only be a sacrificial lamb for the Most High, but sacrifice unto your brethren. Because that's building your so like, what's the word I'm looking for? For lack of better words, that's helping you out more with the Most High. The Most High sees that and is pleasing unto Him. So in this faith, remember, sacrifice is important. So with that being said, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahweh Shai, BAHASHAM, RAWCHAA, QADASH, and hey, Shalom.